He's one of my favorite to watch do it.
He the first year I did Uncle Earl's, he worked the pen for me.
No kidding.
Yep, it would
I
have
never
been.
knew that he worked a day in his life. That's pretty good
Well,
news.
well, all right. He was he was
Hey,
a sign. He
can I call out Lil Piku on the podcast right now
little
for not coming
Garrett.
to the pen? Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
Garrett Piku, Jake Loicano calls me every day and like with the biggest, like I just can see the smile over the phone kind of deal. And he's like, man, I got my man covered. And I'm talking. He even says like he sees some of him in you, and I know how much he likes himself. So
I
holy
could see
no,
I could see two of him in me. Like he's half my size. But yeah,
yeah,
Garrett's promises me he's coming, which he's promised me before. I had him, I had that big ear to ear smile. Said, man, Garrett said he's off work and he's gonna get to make it. But
man. One time, though, I will say it was pretty cool because he did take Carter and Ryan hunting. I think talking about the boys from the Boards and Brawls, he took them hunting down there in South Texas. I think when they left Earl's last year. So
yeah, he did, and they
I'm
had a
a
lot of
bias
success.
with him now.
They actually went in the middle of Earl's, and Carter and them came for a couple days. Then they went hunting with Garrett, and they came back and hung out with us all weekend. And didn't bring
Hey,
Garrett, of
those
course.
two guys there, Jake. Just touch on that real quick too, man. Them two guys, man, they're doing a lot of great stuff for the sport of hog baiting, right? I
Man,
mean, the whole world of hog hunting, I should say.
there's always guys that seems like that bridge a gap that you didn't know you had, and like our first crack at a podcast with Hog Dog Nation. Uh, Me and Uncle Pat, we felt like, and Ed, we felt like that was really bridging a gap, not only to people that didn't compete on the competition side, but people that just hunted and didn't even know it existed. Well,
Yeah,
now Boars and Broads is taking it to a whole nother level. Like they're fresh, man. They're young. They keep putting. It's not monotonous material, and plus they're hands on. They actually come to the event.
man, their dogs are so bad, man. I'm gonna get in the woods with them dogs one day. I mean, they might not be just tens in the bay pen because they just, I mean, they're like me, man. They're man eaters. They flex their muscles. I,
Yeah,
I love that what he brought to Earl's last year.
and they man, they're constantly honing their craft. You know what I mean? That they're not just sitting on the fence talking about it; they're being about it. And then they come to the events, and not only are they promoting the shows, but they're participating in the shows.
And they understand the bay pen life. They were woods hunters, and they came in and they see, man, how cool this really is. You know me, and you're the same way. People think, oh, you're a bay pen guy. You're a hunting dude. You're a woods guy. You just happen to be the dude that's the best at putting on the show of bay pens. Not that you don't like bay pens, but come on, man, it's the same.
Yeah,
It's something
man,
watching a dog work. You
I've
could do it with your buddies, or you could do it with thousands of your buddies.
I've made
You know.
this is my old go-to spiel for people that don't understand the competition side. They're like, well, why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? That's not realistic. All right, man. Like especially since this is a kind of geared toward rodeo podcast. Do you think Trevor Brazil pins horses on his roping or pins cows on his roping horse?
Once it's finished,
It,
or while he's in the
Why he's
process,
competing?
no.
You know what I mean? It's the same thing. Like these dogs are trained for a high level competition, and you don't put them in the woods to either.
Unless you're dumb enough to try to just prove a point to somebody that I don't know who this somebody is. But I got a text one day that the baddest dog ever lived was 167 yards from the dude with the control.
Yeah,
Yeah, everybody knew he was going to bay a hog. I do that. I don't know anything.
yeah.
Like,
Well, sometimes you can't get caught up in those measuring contests.
no,
I don't know if anyone's ever won a measuring contest, but
man. It's pretty awesome that he did it. I'll say that. But what a dumbass, man. I get half the Calcuttas on that dog. You don't even let that dog get hurt.
heck yeah. Well,
And those of you who don't know, we're talking about that little short fella from Goose, Texas.
Randy Durrell and the
Texas.
Goose.
And the Goose.
But
You got to get it right. Now we got 4 O's in it. You got to go with the
Goose,
Goose.
yeah, there's 4 O's in Goose. I forgot about that. But
Yeah.
he's speaking of that though, he's well on his way to number 5. A fifth of the way through the season, Goose is in the top spot. Believe it or
In the
not,
top spot. But you know what could happen at any time? Boom! The hand grenade
The
gets
hand
thrown.
grenade. That's a hot
Woo-wee.
topic. About to tell
Bayou
us.
boys.
I'm about to tell a story that a lot of folks may not believe. They may not have known about. But
Now it'd be dishonest to you, especially about the working hours at Uncle Earl's, folks. I'll tell you.
yeah, man, and I know a lot of stuff behind the scenes going on. And hand grenade, hot on the heels of the Goose, owned by the Bayou Boys, GW son. They're right there in Plaquemine. He has had a big photo shoot baying a hog in the end zone of Tiger Stadium. Like,
That's Death Valley, the real Death Valley.
yeah,
You
man,
folks
like
up
this
there.
dog has bayed a hog in the end zone of Death Valley in Baton Rouge.
That's 100,000 people in that stadium
Yeah,
too at
man,
one time.
everybody's screaming his name. Like, man, it's going to get wild in Winfield. Wait till these photos haven't been released yet, but they're coming out. Probably shouldn't have mentioned.
Me and Jake were at the game, man. It was a cool experience.
Yeah, actually, it wasn't really a game. It felt like a game, but they were there to see hand grenade.
They were there to see
They
hand
were dressed
grenade.
in their purple and gold. They were throwing beads. Now, they kept throwing them at me, though. I don't know why. I think they wanted to see something, but I was there for hand grenade.
What else did they want to see? You were showing them everything you had to show them.
Exactly. That was my best effort right there.
That's all I got, folks.
Yeah.
Um, man, and there. So tell me, is there some more dogs that could get up in this mix? I mean, if we're being honest, at the end of the day, like, is there some more? Because I feel like there's a couple more that can maybe get in this mix.
Well, one you can never count out because, like Saturday in Downsville in January, there, Clyde and Goose went head to head.
Man, they were both on there, dude. That's as good as I've ever seen
I
right
think we
there.
had to go 3 extra rounds to try to break that up, and it was a razor thin margin on a questionable call. Goose got the nod. Clyde got second.
Hey, just to pause you real quick, man. Is it just me, or is it super heartbreaking when it comes down to those last 2 or 3 dogs and it goes like that? Man, it takes it out of me whenever it's over with. I'm happy for whoever wins, but man, it's like them other 2 dogs every one of them put it out on the line when it
If
gets to that point.
if you think it's bad to or hard to watch, trying to determine a winner or feel bad for whoever comes up short, could you imagine being the judge in that situation?
No,
Oh man,
no.
that's a thing.
I would be a terrible judge. They would all get tens and they would all
Yeah,
have
we'd never
a front.
finish.
Yeah, yeah.
But that's
What do you run around the pins in front of them? I didn't see that.
when you're talking about the most elite at the end, when you've whittled it down to just the top dogs, you're splitting hairs, and it's not a fun job. Thankfully, we have the best, and they have a lot of confidence in themselves. They're not afraid to pull the trigger and make a decision. And sometimes it's hard to do, but luckily the crowd is thankful for what it is that they do. And I
Yeah,
just said do.
they said doo doo, which is
Yeah,
any of the languages I've ever.
you're gonna have to bleep that part out.
Yeah,
But
yeah, yeah.
but I know at the beginning.
Hang on, I got company. He's over here putting his. He said he thought it was live, but it is live
It is live.
right.
Is that Wingman?
No, that's not Wingman. That's the one and only pickup man of the South, Mr. Tyler Como.
Tyler Como
Yeah, over here.
made his way to Centerville.
Caught one fish today when we went fishing.
He only
I can
caught
send you.
one.
I'm gonna send you these monsters I was catching while he wasn't catching none.
Golly,
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to go over there and break that up.
Well, come on. Well, I don't know. Keep you on lockdown pretty tight.
Well, are we ready? Or you want?
We ready.
Okay. Well,
So we're gonna talk, man. So yeah, next I'm gonna go on Redbud. We talked about that with the SYJ, and then it's going down, and it's going down on the 18th is what I'm gonna call it. You keep saying the 20th, 20, whatever. On the 18th, I'm gonna show y'all right there. Spenser Brunson and the boys. On the 18th, what time, Jake?
we're gonna kick it off at the pavilion on top of the hill by the Cajun camp at 7 post meridian, right there in beautiful Winfield, Louisiana, home of the 3 governors.
And deep in the Gassachi Forest.
That is a fact. Home of the natural, Mark Hayes.
Yeah, the Natch, man.
It'd be the
So the Natch.
first one we ever had without him, but we're gonna make sure and honor him. But in it, we got to do it as big as ever, and I know he'll be looking down on us. Hopefully, he'll keep the clouds parted for us. We have some beautiful weather.
No, knowing him, man, he's gonna shitstorm us, ain't he?
Yeah, he's gonna be like, these
It's gonna
boys can
be
handle
from
it.
Monday to Sunday, and he's gonna be laughing the whole
Them dogs will
time.
be in the mud.
Man, I can remember the first year I was there. I didn't know anybody, you know. Met a lot of great people. The only person I knew there was Mark Hayes, and he was sitting in the top of the bleachers by himself at 4:30 in the morning when Clyde made one of them runs. And he told me before it all got started, he said, "Nothing against the Goose dog, but that Clyde's a bad dude." He said, "You watch that dog." Man, Mark Hayes ain't never told me a truer statement in life. I mean, watching Goose and Clyde from the get go, man, they were different. They were different in the field. No disrespect to anybody's dogs. I think everybody that listens to this knows that. Might not want to admit it, but I mean, it's just different, man. They're bad to the like hand grenade. I never even knew what hand grenade was until he won the one dog at Earl's, and it's like
A lot of people
I didn't know
didn't.
what the dog
A lot
was.
of people didn't.
You know,
But
I
they're not forgetting anytime soon. I know that.
no, man. Probably, I mean, when it comes down to the one dog alone, man, that dude's as gangster as they got in the game.
And there's I know we have our superstars that we talk about all the time, but man, like it's
Martha, you talking about Martha?
oh
Yeah, boy.
hey, superstar in the making.
I'm telling you,
The
man. Me and you both enjoy watching Martha.
Braveheart Catahoulas, Martha
Yeah, yeah.
from Mississippi, from Tylertown, Mississippi. How far is that from you?
No kidding. I did not know that. That is 45 miles from my house, man.
Tylertown, Mississippi.
I didn't know Miss Bridget lived in
Yes,
Tylertown.
sir. She
Wow.
her and Mr. Dickey been married a few years and living right there in Tylertown. I think she came. I want to say she was living in Louisiana before they met, but now she lives with him. Obviously, they're married. But
My Stony Rock Productions Dog of the Week last Bayer right
yeah, the
there.
pick of the cinch pick of the night, and she came
Pitch of the
through.
week,
She
yeah.
placed in the top three in a couple different things.
Man, she was on fire, man. It was awesome.
Yep, she was bad to the bone. Dickey told me. He said, "Hey boy, you better get used to me taking pictures next to your ugly butt."
Man, I didn't know if you was impersonating him or Joey Barkley with that one. It was kind of in between, I thought.
Well, Dickey was pretty excited. He might have had a drink or two, and he was talking in his outside voice.
Hey, Joey Barkley's another one, man. He got them two gangster dogs, the Dillinger and the
Hey, don't
Joker.
don't like I know Code Red's way out ahead right now in the kennel
Boy, Code
standings,
Red.
but don't
They brought
don't
back.
don't sleep on Joey Barkley. I don't think he's third or fourth in the kennel points right now in the kennel standings. But man, I think he didn't have one dog that placed twice. All those were different dogs. I think he placed with like 6 different dogs.
Well, like, so Joker wins the two dog at Earl's last year with Rango, and it's like they're the talk of the town. And it's like, about the time I start thinking he's his best dog, it's like Dillinger shows up this last bait, and it's like,
Yeah,
I don't know which one's actually even better. You know, it's like
and,
they're superstars.
and all those young dogs. Like some of them I don't even know their name. Like they placed in the pro, there's Stinger,
Yeah.
and there's a handful of other ones. When there's 600 in there, it's hard for me to remember all their names. But
Yeah. I know another really good young dog, and his name's pretty easy to remember because it's Bamalam. Oh, Bamalam brings some heat too, man.
Bamalam, bred in the swamps of Florida, and his daddy was a pretty good dog, and that dude just it was too far of a trip to come, that kind of thing. Man, it's easier to find somebody to ride with. I just keep him in the woods. Gives Snotty a puppy, and now he sees how good he's doing. He's like, man, I got to get back in the competition.
Yeah, it's not a grave. Red Rider Kim. We seen him this weekend. Another one of my brothers, always doing a bunch of assistant MCing in the house. Yeah, man. Code Reds, like they're back on top, man. Them dogs is working. They got it going on. Awesome to watch. They got was it Red Iron they call them?
The Red
The
Iron
new baby.
Coalition. It is a
Yeah.
breeding program mixed up between Iron Spring from Corinth, Mississippi, and the Code Red out of Winsboro, Louisiana.
Is Bayou Boys involved in that, or I'm just
No,
making stuff
no,
up?
Bayou Boys isn't involved in that. He's been breeding his own so far. He owns the mamas and the daddies to all of his.
Man, if he gets caught, people's gonna think he's sick.
Hey, I
They'll let
say
him
that.
dog.
I just misspoke. He has a red hot litter. He bred hand grenade to Goose's full sister, and
Which one?
her name's BB. She placed in the puppy bay at Uncle Earl's
Mhm.
last year,
Yeah,
and them puppies are hot, man. They're coming on.
yeah. So man, I forget who the dude was, but one of them dudes at the last bay and got I guess a goose puppy for Randy, and supposedly a heck of a woods dog and cattle dog.